Hello, hello, dear Sagittarius. Welcome to Divine Debut. This is Kathy speaking. Now, this is your November beginning till mid-month of 2019 Divine Spread. And I'm using the Major Arcana only from the Druid Craft Tarot. Let's take your Divine and Karma Dharma card. Okay, as I always do in the beginning of the month, it's the Divine Spread. This is your card, as I can see, and you are dealing with a Leo. This is the Strength card. I am trying new formats in the way I'm recording, so please be patient. I'm trying to perfect it. I am a Virgo and trying to make it as clear in the sound, I mean, and in the sharpness as well. So let's see. I'm getting there. Give me a bit of time. I will perfect it. It's not going to get the better of me. I will manage it. So yeah, that's the that is the attitude that we have to have. It's a very strong time of Capricorn with Saturn, Pluto, and the South Node there. Now Mercury has turned retrograde on the 31st on Halloween. So happy Halloween as well, dear Sagittarius. Let's see with Mercury retrograde what will be coming up for you. Now a lot of situations come back from the past, people from the past as well. Let's look at your foundation. And we've got the Queen of Rods, Queen of Wands. So this is the Leo. Even though, yes, you are fire as well, but the Queen of Rods to me usually is the Leo, and we do have the Strength card. Let's take the hidden position, what you can't see, and we've got the King of Swords. King of Swords, Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. In the recent past, Five of Wands. Now this is the Morgan-Greer deck that I'm using here. In the now position, you have the Eight of Cups. What's on your mind is the Hermit. Okay, and the Hermit is the card of Virgo. So yes, you may be dealing with someone who is Virgo, Leo cusp. Okay, I want to make sure that you could see all the cards as well as you can, as well as it is possible. Okay, in the now position, Nine of Swords, another nine, both the Hermit and the Nine of Swords, two nines. Nines always speak of getting to the end of a situation. Okay, let's look at the outcome for you. And you have the Seven of Wands. So you're being asked to continue putting in the effort and fighting, working towards what you want to manifest. Let's look at the divine position. What does Spirit want you to know, and how are you being affected at this time? And we have the Seven of Pentacles. And the Seven of Pentacles is a card of waiting, you know. Waiting to see what's going to happen. You've got two sevens, two nines. Okay, and we've got the Chariot at the bottom of the deck, which is Cancerian energy. This is overcoming obstacles. This is Spirit. It's a major arcana. This is the general energy. You're sitting in the driver's seat. The divine is putting you there. You've got the power to do this, to manifest. And when I say manifest, I mean either overcoming obstacles or even moving. This is forward momentum, whether this is literal or metaphorical. Let's see what else we've got. And the Magician, which is, the Magician is Mercury. It's Mercury ruled because it's it denotes Virgo and Gemini. And so could it be that you are dealing with a Gemini here? And you know, dear Sagittarius, the sign opposite to you is Gemini. So could it be that you are dealing with someone, you know, your other half, the person you are may be dealing with could be someone that is in a way like a mirroring image to you, because usually what we have in our seventh house is what we are missing, if you get what I mean. So if you are dealing with someone who is your other half, they're showing up as what you need at this time. Now it's funny that the King of Swords is in the hidden position, because I've already mentioned a Leo here. I do feel that for some of you, yes, you could be dealing with a Leo, but others of you, it could mean, because the Queen of Rods can be, of course, your energy, Sagittarius. The Strength card as a Karma Dharma position says that you need to have the courage, you need to have the patience, and I know it's not easy for Sagittarius to be very patient. All fire signs are, you know, they like to go, go, go. They don't like to sit around and wait. So, and yes, it does speak of courage. It speaks of taming that wild beast within you. It's your higher self that you need to find the balance, be able to work with. So if this is your energy here, if this is your energy, then no doubt the King of Swords would be your partner. If, though, you are dealing with a Leo, Virgo cusp, as I said, and let's say because the King of Swords can be an energy, this is someone who is very outspoken, someone who speaks their truth, someone who looks at the facts, not very open-hearted, just very calculative. He is a king, so he's mastered his intellect. He's got an ingenious mind, very sharp. Okay, and this can also mean cutting out the crap, you know, cutting things out that are not working. But again, the King of Swords could also be another side of you. Another side of you. Okay, so we do also have Cancer here. We've got quite a few signs here. As I said, we've got Cancer. We've got the Magician, which is Virgo and Gemini. Let's see, we've also got Libra. Justice. Justice is here to bring in balance. Justice is a very karmic card. It's a number 11. So we go from number 11 to number 1. All these aces speak of new beginnings to me. But the Justice card for me is walking through a new doorway. Okay, balancing the scales. And we've got the Page of Cups here, which is an offer of love. An apology could be. This could also be an adolescent child. Okay, so this is an offer that's come through more than likely in the past, I should say, because the further back I go from here, we're looking at the past. So there has been an offer that's been brought forth, but then you're dealing with something karmic, could be something legal. You do have the power to manifest. You've got the gift of the gab at this time, and whatever you are manifesting will push you forward. It will propel you forward. What's beneath that? Yeah, 5 of Swords, being in a situation where you've got to fight to win. This is a card of conflict. Okay, so maybe there's been some sort of an argument where maybe there was an apology, and justice coming into balance. This, the Justice card can also speak of partnerships or relationships of any sort. And again, legalities as well. So if there has been something harsher than what just an argument, and someone's, shown you the white flag and they've said, look, let's talk about this. They're waving that white flag. I don't know that you would have accepted the apology, if it was something like that, because we've got the Justice card here, and this could be someone you may be dealing with, and you know, the King of Swords could also be a legal representative. Okay, someone who works in a legal career, could be a magistrate, could be a solicitor. And yes, the justice, as I say always, is it's having those conversations, putting things right. Okay, so making things right. Here we've got the magician. So this, again, as I said, as above, so below. It's a card of manifestation and being very, very willing and able to look at the details and to come up with an idea that's going to give you a new beginning. It is a 1. Now again, the Chariot is another major arcana. It's the general energy. So the Queen of Rods is sitting at the foundation. So at the foundation of your reading here, which could be also, this could be someone that is someone who feels like family, because it is in the area of family. If we look at the table as a wheel, the horoscope, right? So it could be someone that feels like home to you. As I said, I truly feel that we are talking about a Leo here. I truly feel that. So fire and fire can be somewhat, yes, there are, sometimes it's a good match, but sometimes it can be too much passion, too much spontaneity, too much taking charge and acting. Now, the Queen of Rods is usually someone who is very magnetic, someone who is very beautiful, someone who can be of leadership qualities. And the Queen of Rods is someone who is usually very generous, especially if we're talking about a Leo. There is a lot of generosity here. Now, the King of Swords, as I said, someone who's got a very sharp mind, someone who is very calculated, he is looking towards the past. So you could be revisiting situations where you're having conversations or talking about something that's happened in the past. As I said, we're in Mercury retrograde. And the 7 of Pentacles here in the divine position is also looking towards the past. So now what I see here is, even though this is not a court card, I do see this woman in between 2 masculine energies. Now here we could be talking about Earth, so Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. In the recent past, we have the 5 of Wands. 5 of Wands can be trying to build on something, trying to make something work. 5 people involved. 5s are always about change. Okay, it is a card of not being on the same page with someone. And obviously, as I say, with 5, something comes in to bring change, because 5 is not a number of balance. Now, in the position of now, 8 of Cups, leaving those 8 of Cups behind, gradually moving on, looking for some sort of an agreement, some sort of a balancing out of your emotions, looking for that other half, looking for someone that you feel is your soul connection, because these 8 of Cups, it's quite a bit of time that you've invested in a situation. And this woman here is stealing in the middle of the night. As you could see, we've got the moon, which is eclipsed. It's an eclipsed moon. So even though this is talking about the position of now, you know, we did have the eclipses in July. Now we're heading towards the eclipse energy of around Boxing Day, Christmas Day, depending on where you are in the world. So eclipses we start to feel the energies about a month before. So this is going to be more than likely, because it's in the now position, I would say that it is showing you something that may happen very soon, because it's just over a month and a half of when the next eclipse is going to happen, which is not that far off. So this could speak of, let's say, 8 days. Okay, for others of you, if it's 8 weeks, it is around the eclipse. So moving on, this is a card of maturation, growth, following your soul's purpose. And here with the Hermit, as I said, it's a number 9. The Hermit is Virgo. The Hermit is someone who is trying to look at the, you know, looking at that lantern, looking for the answers within the light through that star. And the Hermit again is someone who is secluded, someone who takes a step back, doesn't communicate, needs time of solitude, needs time to look for the information. Someone is doing the Virgo thing. Virgo is all about the details. And don't forget that the Hermit is one step before the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so this is also very strongly, it does denote Sagittarian energy, because Sag is always about, you know, philosophy, higher education. Now, the Hermit could be someone who is studying to accomplish, do something better for your future. So it can mean that you are taking time out to further more your study. Okay, now in the position of the advice and the action to take, so the advice here is, there's so much worry here. Someone is feeling very bound and not able to move freely, and this is suffocating you, dear Sagittarius. I do feel that more than likely this is your energy. And if you notice here, there's 9 and there's one more sword. That's 10 swords here. So I feel as though, because the 9 of Swords is harder energy, it's tougher to be in the 9 of Swords than the 10, because the 10 says you've gotten to the end of a cycle, and therefore that 10 would break down to the Ace. This is like really worrying, having sleepless nights, having a brain that's going around in loops over and over again, too many thoughts, too much anguish, too much mental energy being used up, and it's a feeling of not being able to move freely, as I said. So I feel that whoever this King of Swords is, they have the answer to your problems. Now, as I said, this could be a legal representative. For those of you that this is your other half, then there needs to be conversation. There needs to be a talk about what is keeping you tied up, dear Sagittarius. What is keeping you from feeling free, whether it's in a relationship or not, because Sagittarius needs to be free. They need to, they like going on that adventure. They like the freedom to be able to move and not get stuck in a rut. So I do feel that some of you may have also strong air in your chart. Now, I did say that, yes, Gemini is your 7th house. So for those of you that are dealing with a Gemini, there is something that needs to be communicated here. Now, in the outcome is the 7 of Wands. So we go from the 5 to the 7. Seven of Wands says that you've been at the 6. Even though we don't have the 6 here, we've got the 5 and the 7. So you've been in a point of being successful, being recognized for your accomplishments, whatever they were, whatever they are. But there's things and situations that you're up against right now. And you know, 7 is a number of conflict, obviously. You've got now a 7 of Wands, 7 of Pentacles, and the Chariot. 3 sevens are 21, which can add up to 3. And 3 is the number of expansion and growth. But 21 is also, it is the World card. So it's some sort of an ending, some sort of a completion of a cycle that you're pushing for. Now, as I said, 7 of Pentacles. 7 of Pentacles is also a card of stopping, waiting, looking at what you've invested. Is this in relation to your money, what you've built up to now? The divine is saying that it's okay to take a step back, have a look at the situation. What have you accomplished? What have you done? What needs to be done? Now, as I said, some of you may be dealing with another earth sign, and the only earth sign here is Virgo. And I said you could be dealing with someone who's got strong Leo and being on the cusp with Virgo. So if that would be the case, then this would be your energy, right? So it can go either way. Let's take more cards. We need to take a lot more cards. Let's look at the Lover's Path Tarot. Okay. Let's look at your love life. Please, Spirit, for Sagittarius. What else does Sagittarius need to know? Beginning till mid-November 2019. And Sagittarius, the sun is in your 12th house. So there are things that are hidden, things that you don't know right now. Things that will be culminating that you have no idea about. You can't see what's going on in your 12th house. And you have the 8 of Arrows now, which is the 8 of Swords. Again, still more worry. You're feeling, again, trapped. Unfortunately, a lot of air energies. A lot of air energies. So 8 and 9, it would be good to see the 10 actually. I'm going to take one more card, dear Sagittarius. One more. And we've got the 5 of Swords here. Wow. Jesus. So we've got the 9, the 9, and the 5 is 14, and the 8 is 22. 22, and the sword that the King of Swords is holding, that's the 23rd sword. Now 23, if we break it down, it is a number 11. It is the number of justice. So you are fighting a battle, obviously. And I wouldn't be surprised if you're not dealing with 2 different people. The 5 of Swords, which is also here, does show that there is competitive energies around you. Okay, and it does show 3 people. Now here we've got Aquarius as well, the star. And the star is, Aquarius can mean healing, it can mean the humanitarian, it can talk of the future, it can talk of a wish fulfillment. Here with a star, I see that the star card for me is a card of healing. It's a card of looking at the future, but also it's the card of social media. Okay, so some of you may be, maybe in a bit of a situation. The messages are coming to and fro through social media. Communication may have been muddled up, mixed up. There is, it's a really, really good time now to have those conversations. Even the Hermit, that could be someone who is looking on social media, looking for information, looking for a backup. Now, 5 of Swords, you had it there, you have it here, and you've got a 5 of Wands here. And that, again, 3 5s are 15. We've got the devil energy, which is Capricorn. Now, as I said, with Pluto, the South Node, and Saturn there, we're trying to let go of karmic situations. Both Saturn and Pluto are moving direct. Now, Jupiter will be joining in that area. Once Jupiter changes sign and moves into Capricorn, it's going to be amplifying the energies. So just letting you all know that it's tough times right now. So if you're feeling that you're going through a lot, know that you are not the only one. Let's take the romance angels and see what else we can get for you. Sagittarius, please, Spirit. Sagittarius, beginning to mid-November 2019. What do they need to know? We have trust. This situation is calling for you to have faith. This is a card of trust. It's saying that trust. Trust that what you believe is true. Trust that what you are fighting for is going to, you're going to get through, because with the Seven of Wands, we do have the upper ground. You do have the upper hand here. You're on top of all these wands. You're standing taller. You're standing on a higher level. Let's take another card, dear Sagittarius. So we've got the card of trust. Maybe even until you are able to have those conversations and clear up whatever is going on, you need to trust in the divine plan. And we've got express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. For those of you that are feeling that you are dealing with someone who is not reciprocating their love to you, there are reasons behind that. I don't believe that there isn't love here. What I'd like to do now is I'd like to take another deck, which is, it's the Connolly Tarot. Let's take one card on each position. First of all, though, I'd like to have a look at the Strength card, which is the Karma Dharma position. And we've got the Ace of Wands. And we've got the Hanging Man. The Hanged Man, which is Piscean energy. Now, the Hanged Man is Neptunian energy. Neptune can be harsh because we can't see the forest from the trees. Again, he wears a halo around his head. Look, he's waiting to receive the information, the download, just like the Hermit, very similar energies. And I did say that, what was it before? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I thought of something else. Scratch that. Let's take one card on each position. Okay, so the Queen of Rods holds the Queen of Swords. The King of Swords has the Ace of Pentacles, Five of Wands, Five of Pentacles, the Eight of Cups, the High Priestess. I was just thinking this card, I was going to say Virgo, Piscean axis. It wasn't, though. It was Virgo, Gemini here with the Magician. Here is the High Priestess, and she is the Virgo, Piscean axis. Let's take the Hermit, Ace of Cups, two aces, three aces, dear Sagittarius. Let's look at that Nine of Swords. We've got the Two of Swords. 9 and 2 equal 11. There you go. Two of Swords, a decision. Let's take the outcome. And we've got the Star card again. Oh, wow. And the Divine Position. And we've got the Five of Wands again. Five of Wands again, but what I like about this Five of Wands is that he's actually moving on. He's moving on because he's at a standstill. He's at a 5. Fives are an imbalance, remember? Let's take one more on that. And the 6. There is the 6 of Wands. As I said before, we had the 5 and the 7. Where is that 6? It was hiding. And it's here now. In the position of the past, we've got the Ace of Wands. Now, the Ace of Wands is that fiery ignition type of a card. It is a card of passion. As you could see, the flames, the sparks are flying off. It's something ready to take off. You know, it can speak of something creative, of course, but it does speak of passion as well and desire. So I feel the fact that it's in the past and it is a wand which speaks of passion. Now, dear Sagittarius, I know that you are fire. The Queen of Wands here, as I said, maybe Leo, Virgo, Cusper. But I feel as though because, as I said, the Queen of Wands is someone who is close to your home, someone that is around you, someone that feels like family. I don't know why, but I feel as though the Queen of Swords, as you could see here, we've got the King and the Queen of Swords and they're back to back. They're not facing each other. So I feel as though because the Queen of Swords is in the position of your home, your security again, I truly feel that this is your energy and you are showing up as the King of Swords. So we've got all the air signs here. We've got Aquarius. Gemini has been mentioned because of the Magician. But we've also got Libra here, as you can see. So could have any of those air signs in your chart, but it is in the position of what is hidden. So therefore what you don't know is that you will be using that sword. You'll be having that conversation. You'll be cutting, I would say more than likely, this Queen of Swords out, because even though when we have the same couple, like King and Queen of the same suit, yes, it is a soulmate connection. Doesn't mean just because it's a soulmate connection that it's going to last forever. Okay, sometimes there is a use by date. As you could see, we've got so many swords here. We've got the 9 of Swords. Okay, we've got the 8 of Swords here. We've got the 5 of Swords here, and you also had the 5 of Swords right here, which is in the past. So, and it does show 3 people in the card. 3 people. Now, who's got the sword? You've got the swords in your hand. It's up to you to make the changes. Now, as I said, this is Piscean energy. It could be an apology. Maybe your partner, the air sign, tried to apologize. And I'm not reading reversals, and you know that the Magician is a card of manifestation, but it can also be a trickster. Okay, now with Mercury retrograding in the sign of Scorpio, it's all about talking about those deep hidden emotions. Scorpio is all about intimacy as well, having those important conversations. And you do have the Chariot moving home, overcoming obstacles. You're in the driver's seat. You can manifest what you want and go for what you desire. And remember the Star card right here. Again, I feel as though you've got strong Aquarius in your chart. You do have the star sign again here. Now with the Ace of Pentacles, remember how I said that you may be dealing with someone who's got Leo, Virgo. That's what I feel with this Ace of Pentacles, and it's in the position of what is hidden. Could be someone from your past. You had some sort of a beginning in the past. something that was unknown, something that was hidden. Now, as I say, this is Virgo Piscean energies. It looks like, you know, leaving those Eight of Cups, as I said, a long-term commitment, a marriage, 8 months of being together, which is not really long-term, but anyway, when I say long-term, this could be 8 years. And leaving that behind and going into something that you desire, something that you trust your faith, you're going with your faith, what you believe in. And that is like keeping your cards close to your chest, not talking about the this divine union that you're moving into, because I feel that it is a divine union. Here we've got 2 5s. Okay, 5 of Wands, 2 people, not 2 or maybe even 5. It could be a family situation. Some of you may have children. There is an imbalance here with a 5, and here is another 5. And the angel is taking off the blindfold. So you'll be able to see clearly what you were lacking in. And of course, this can speak of monetary lack and not having enough money. Maybe not enough sharing. Sharing is caring, right? So sometimes when the divine wants to push us in a certain direction, if we are not listening to the signs and looking at the synchronicities, we could be bombarded with the feeling of lack in many areas, and it's like a domino effect. So if we are lacking in love, in communication, there is instability, then we could be also lacking in finances. And this is a sort of a wake-up call. It's like something's not working out right here. So what are you doing? What are you going to do about it? Now, in the near future, we have the Hanged Man. And this is a card of sacrifice. It's a card of waiting to see, you know, waiting for those signs from the divine. Maybe you've sacrificed way too much, but you're obviously being very patient now. Pisces can be all about unconditional love. Unconditional love, but Pisces is also the last zodiac sign, which means endings, and it's also a very dark house. It's also a very spiritual house. So you are listening to your calling. You are going for what you are communicating with the divine with. You are being guided here. The Hermit is guidance. Now, could you, as I said, if you are dealing with this Queen of Rods who may have strong Virgo, could be someone that is quite knowledgeable, quite the intelligence, someone who works in solitude. We do have the Ace of Cups here, as you could see. And this is like, this could be called self-love. It could also mean, you know, the beginning of a spiritual and emotional connection. Okay, it is a potential, of course. Now, whatever you find in that lantern, that star is right here, as you can see. So whatever is found, whoever is doing their homework here, whatever is found, the news, see that little bird there. You're going to have some sort of an indication of, you know, an emotional fulfillment, the beginning of an emotional fulfillment through whatever the Hermit is. So is that you researching on the internet? Is that you checking up on the person that you are hoping to manifest in your life? Is this you? If the Queen of Rods is someone who could have been someone that was around your neighborhood, could have been someone that you've met through a family member and therefore they're very close to the family, could be someone that is, as I said, from the past, because people are coming back from the past, situations coming back from the past. Here with the Nine of Swords, we've also got the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords is a choice. It is trusting your intuition, going with that gut feeling. Having a choice of two people. Doesn't matter now. As I said before, we've got, as I said, the Queen of Rods is in the middle. We've got two males, two masculine. She's right in between. So now it doesn't matter what sex we are talking about. I mean, the Seven of Pentacles could be a female, right? But could it also be that it's, you know, this card is just saying here that it's going to take time. It's going to take time, and you need to take the time to look at things. And the divine is working something on your behalf. Now, as you could see here, the Queen of Swords, she is pointing her sword right at this person. So I don't know what this means exactly. I will take some Sybillas here. I want to see what that's all about. We do have, you know, the Seven of Pentacles here does speak very loudly to me of Taurian energy. Why? Because Taurus is all of the house of Taurus is all about agriculture, the earth. As you can see, he's holding a spade here. He is working the earth. He's been working on manifesting. So he's been putting in that hard work. Now, the energy of Taurus is our values. So what's more valuable? Is it the money, or is it the actual value of a person? I feel that this comes up here. And this could even be a conversation between this person and the Queen of Swords. Now again, dear Sagittarius, for those of you that may have Taurus in your chart, that's what the conversation is probably all about. I see there's an air sign and an earth sign, very different energies, very different. Air signs are, you know, they're all about the intellect. Earth is physical, tangible, real. Very different energies here. Now, we've got the Five of Wands. As I was saying, there is a change here. There is movement. Okay, someone is taking those wands, what they were conflicted about, and they're moving on. I do feel that this is probably you. And after the Five, we have the Six. The Six of Wands can mean a card. It can speak of success, recognition, managing a situation, like winning over a situation. So what this is saying, these two cards together are telling me that I think that you've thought enough. You've taken the time out. You've done, you know, you've processed. You've looked at the situation. Now it's time to be creative, take your inspirations and go. Wherever you are heading to, it will be successful for you. Okay. Now, for some of you, if this is in relation to a business, there is movement. There is movement in relation to a business. And if that is the case, wherever you're going to will help you with get recognized. And the star here, because we do have the 5, 6, 7, 7 of Wands, yes, there is competition, but as I said, you've got the upper hand. You are following that bright star. You are following your wishes. And your wish will be realized if you put in the effort. Don't forget the card here, trust. It does say trust. You need to keep the faith. And also we've got the card of express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. For those of you that have been holding back, obviously, taking a while to make a decision. Don't forget we've got the Ace of Pentacles here, another physical, tangible, real beginning. Now, the Ace of Pentacles is something that is going to last. It's something that is certain, something that is real, something that is of value as well. And again, having the Ace of Pentacles right next to the King of Swords, I do feel that you do have strong earth in your chart, more than likely Taurus. And because as I said, because we've got so many swords here, I do feel that this is, the Queen of Swords is someone that you are leaving behind. Someone that may not even be an air sign, but they're showing up as air. Okay, this is someone who could be quite harsh-tongued, quite the master when manipulating. And we do have the butterfly here, so I do feel that we may be talking about Scorpio energies here as well. All right. Let's take some more cards. I do feel that some of you may be moving on, moving forth where legalities are concerned. If you have been in a marriage, it hasn't been easy. The decision hasn't been easy. You've put in too much work. You need to trust. You need to trust. You need to have courage. For those of you that are worried about, letting go, look at this. What you will be leaving is a feeling of being bound and chained and imprisoned in whichever way, whether that is in a, in an intellectual way. So someone could be quite narcissistic where they're using difficult, I should say very intelligent, or even tactics that will make you feel sorry for them. Do you get what I mean? So what I'd like to do now is I would like to take some Sybillas. Let's take a few Sybillas. Okay, what are we looking at? We're looking at the now position with the Eight of Cups and the High Priestess. We have a malato, which is low morale. This is the Four of Swords. Let's see if we can actually, there it is. It's the Four of Swords. Someone is feeling psychologically down. And a healthy mind leads to a healthy body. If you've been in the Eight of Swords and Nine of Swords energy in the recent past, it may be taking a toll on your health. And the Hermit could also be a doctor. You may be having checkups. We have the Domestico. And the Domestico is the butler, supposedly your helper. Come on. Supposedly your helper. It is a number 11, and number 11 is very karmic. This is usually someone who is close to you or around you, but there are trust issues here. And there we've got the doctor. This is not surprising at all. So we've got the Dottore. Come on. There we go. The doctor, which is a number 13, and that does speak of Scorpio energies. It's the time of Scorpio, but also Scorpio is leadership qualities, right? So Scorpio is also transformation, and Scorpio is also about intimacy, being intimately, being open with what is hidden, being intimate with your feelings, your emotions. So there will be a healing because it's a number 11. Remember I said number 11 is karmic. You're going through a new doorway. You will heal, even though it's not easy. Let's look at the Seven of Pentacles down here. Seven of Pentacles, Five of Wands, and Six of Wands. We have the La Matrice, which is, it's the Queen of Wands. Wow, there we are. It's the Queen of Wands, right? So this is a very, sexual, a very magnetic sort of a female, exactly as the same energy as the Queen of Rods. So that's what I feel that is. Here we've got the Gran Signore, which is the King of Hearts. I do feel that this is your energy. And it's a number 13, again, going through transformation. Sorry about that. Okay, so the Gran Signore is someone who can have a bit of an ego. This is someone who comes from a royal background. Very good couple, very matching. Let's see what else we've got. And we've got the Lettera, which is the Two of Pentacles. The Lettera can be legal papers. It can be news. Two of Pentacles. And Two of Pentacles is usually a card of juggling. Let's take one more. And we've got the 13 again, the Merchant. So I feel as though this is probably your energy. You may be dealing with import-export. There's the 13 again. The Merchant is someone who thinks very carefully about contracts. This is someone who travels the world. You may have a business which deals with, your business has been taken internationally. You deal with companies from a distance, from different countries. And here we've got the Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups, pleasant conversations around a table. Okay, so I would say here that the decision with the Two of Swords will be made whilst having some sort of a pleasant conversation around family, around co-workers, around people that are close to you. I think you may receive the clarity from here, but you do have support here. Ace of Cups again, remember? There it is again. Here, Il Nemico. So the enemy is transforming. There it is. He's holding a snake in his hands. He's shedding that skin. The enemy is going away. Karma is moving away. And here we've got the Artista. And the Artista is a number 7. 7 of Cups. So whatever Neptunian energy you had that was not letting you see clearly, there is a discovery that's made here. And this is very Aquarian. So this is the ingenious discovery that is come across either through research, just like with the Hermit here. Now, the Artista can also be a legal representative. As I said, there are many layers in the tarot. The King of Swords. Let's take a look at the King of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles, and I think I will... We've got Constanza, something constant and unchanging. This is the 10 of Cups. Now, this does speak of a place, maybe Europe, somewhere where there is ancient ruins. It's a very spiritual place. I feel that this King of Swords feels there is a calling at a distance for him. Here we've got the Giovina Fanciulla, so the pure energy, the Virgin. This again is Virgo energies. Let's look at this. Let's clear this. Virgo, pure energy, newness, and we've got La Reunion. And I did say we're talking about someone from the past. There's the reunion, as you can see here. So at one stage, there was a lot of happiness. 10 of Cups was total bliss. And then we had the 12 and the 8 together, which wands they are. It's like fiery energy. If we put those together, they equal 20. And 20 is the judgment calling. It's the being given a second chance. What I'd like to do now, I want to take a couple of cards, just a couple more cards, and I'm going to use the Morgan-Greer. Let's take the Chariot. I'd like to just take one card on that Chariot. That's the general energy. And we've got the Four of Pentacles. So overcoming obstacles, this is like Taurian energy again. Taurus is all about values. Taurus is also, it is the physical body. It's the five senses. Don't forget that Uranus is transiting through Taurus. So we are changing up our values, what is important to us. Now the Four of Pentacles can speak of the Miser card. Maybe you've been feeling left out wherever you were. That's why you are moving on. Now also the Four of Pentacles can also mean that if you are moving, literally moving, you are being very careful with your pennies, and you're holding on tightly to something that is very, something that feels like home to you. As I said, the Queen of Rods, I feel. The Queen of Rods who, as I said, may also have strong Virgo. Let's take the Star and the Seven of Wands in the outcome position. And we've got the Judgment calling, and I just mentioned this card. Okay, this is Pluto and this is transformation. Obviously, this is a second chance. Whatever you thought had died did not. It was just dormant. And now it's ready to wake up. This relationship is ready to be reborn. Let's take just the Hanging Man now, which is in the near future. And we've got the Wheel of Fortune. Here is your ruling planet Jupiter bringing in the blessings for you. Look at this. I mean, you can't make this up. In the Morgan-Greer, we've got the third person that's falling off the wheel. Can you see that? Yeah. Sorry. So that's what's happening. There is an ending, a completion. The Wheel of Fortune is a number 10. And look at the hand of the divine turning that wheel. Oh, wow. Dear Sagittarius, this is beautiful. What I'd like to do now is I would like to take these three main, what am I doing? There he is. These three main people, which are going, I'm going to take a handwritten card, one on each of these people. This may not resonate with you, but if it does, that's great. So if it doesn't, maybe next time. Let's look at the King of Swords. So whoever this is for you, I'm moving on, I'm healing now, leaving the past. Let's take now a card on the Queen of Wands. So yes, this is the Six of Swords, so he's moving from trouble to calmer waters. She has let's elope, let's try again, I love you. And this is the Ace of Cups. Yeah, just when it wants to go and focus, it loses it. Okay, let's go to the Queen of Swords. What does she have to say? You are the love of my life, she says. You are the love of my life. Well, maybe it's a bit late. It's funny that we've got the Ace and then the Two. The Ace of Cups and then the Two of Cups. That's very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Let's take one more for each of the queens. Queen of Rods. And she has the Ace of Wands. Open your heart and talk truthfully. No, this is the Ace of Swords. Wow. Talk to me. This is the Ace of Swords. Yeah, that's what she says. Two aces with the Queen of Rods. Let's look at the Queen of Swords. And she has, I am now awakened. Now I see clearly. You are the one for me. Seven of Cups. So that's very, very interesting indeed. I'm going to say, of course, for those of you that are not dealing with two people, of course it can be that these two females are the same person. Of course. And This could be, as I said, someone coming back from the past. Someone that you were dealing with, you are reuniting. The meeting is going to take place. Okay, so I think I will leave it at that. For those of you that that are in a committed partnership or relationship, maybe your other half took on a different energy. You've obviously gone through some lessons here. The cards do say trust and express your love, so maybe that's what was lacking. There was no expression of love. And now, as I said, with Mercury retrograding in the sign of Scorpio, it's a time to open up and be intimate and talk about these matters, these taboos, okay, if there have been taboos for you. All right, dear Sagittarius, I do hope that that helps you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, and I will catch up with you very soon. Bye-bye.